Oh man, it's been a while since we've had a rank split on Kings Canyon. While it's a classic map that some of us have a lot of time on, there have been some big changes to the game since then. What's up guys, it's Valued, and today I've got you covered with a close look at how you can best rank up in this split, and a Kings Canyon refresher for all of you looking to grind out your rank rewards for Season 10. But I know you've got to get back to grinding your RP, so let's get right into it. Let's start off right in the beginning of your match with your legend choice. We all have a pick or two that we love to play, but it's important to understand exactly how your legend operates on each map. With this split being on Kings Canyon, playing legends who are strong on this map, or at least understanding exactly how your legend best finds success, is the key to gaining more RP. If you're playing a legend like Caustic or Watson, knowing what buildings or positions you can hold in each POI will automatically make you better on the map. Or, if you're playing Wraith or Octane, understanding how much distance you can get with your ult will keep you from falling short when pushing a POI or rotating. These considerations are important on every map, but especially so with the many choke points on Kings Canyon and the open areas in certain parts of the map. Having a fresh approach to this split is key, because it's easy to get caught up in mindsets and habits that you build up on World's Edge in the first split. Listen, whatever legend you're playing, even if you have thousands of games on them, make sure to step back and analyze the differences between how you've been playing on them on the previous map versus how they should be played here. The same goes for knowing your enemies' picks as well. If you're serious about gaining RP and climbing the ranks, knowing what legends are meta and knowing why they're meta will help you to be better prepared for anything they could throw at you in a game. If you're unsure of what picks are the strongest this split, be sure to check out our Season 10 Split 2 tier list that we put out this week. But knowing things like Rampart's ult is now mobile, or that Valkyrie has a lot of good use cases for her skyward dive on Kings Canyon are a couple of examples of this. As you play more and more games against different legends, update your game knowledge and constantly be watching for new ways that players are approaching situations in your game. Having this ever-evolving understanding of all the legends, but especially the meta ones, will make your games feel so much more predictable. And when your games are more predictable, you have much more RP coming your way in the future. Okay guys, before we move on to the next part, if you click this video, it means you want to improve. And the fastest way to do that is by learning from the best. So, Hal, why don't you tell them a little bit more?
Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Imperial Hal and welcome to my brand new Apex class. This class goes over everything you need to move, shoot, and think like me. Whether you're silver or diamond, controller or keyboard, you're going to be the one carrying your friends. I typically can't get to all your comments, but this course is actually going to help you guys so much in all your questions. If you're serious about becoming a better Apex player, join me for the next 30 days and commit to improving.
Alright guys, another way to make your game way more predictable is to know each POI like the back of your hand. Many players have a firmer grasp on Kings Canyon than any other map. So if you have knowledge gaps, it's going to hurt you more than the other maps. There haven't been too many changes, but the most notable ones are where Skulltown used to be and the north side of the map introducing Crash Site and Spotted Lake. Knowing the ins and outs of these newer changes to the map, and then refreshing yourself on any POIs that you don't feel comfortable with to make sure you're on the same level of your enemies is key. So since we're talking about map changes, let's take a really quick moment to talk about some starting POIs to get you off to a good start on Kings Canyon. As we've talked about, this map has a lot of choke points created by high, impassable mountains. This means that certain drop spots will be cut off from many dropship routes. There are a ton of times when I'm dropping into this map that whole POIs will get forgotten about just because they're tucked behind some mountains that make the drop a little bit harder. One of my favorite examples of this is Spotted Lake. With this location being on the other side of the pit and its mountain range on a lot of drop paths, I can often go here uncontested and have a safe start to my games. This is also a great drop because it gives you 3 clear rotation options depending on the circle location. You can head to the north towards Crash Site if you have a circle pulling your way, and east or south if you're looking to rotate inwards. When that dropship path comes live and you're picking your spot, Look for these points of interest that seem tough to get to. Maybe they're tucked behind a mountain or off the path a little bit. These little hidden gems are where you can find a lot of uncontested POIs without having to drop on the outskirts of the map. Airbase and swamps are another 2 examples that can be great drops, putting you on the edge of the map, but giving you really solid loot. Both of these locations have quick access to third parties due to having really popular POIs nearby, but they're often overlooked themselves. This gives them this feeling that I really like to have in my games, where you get an uncontested drop, but can easily rotate into the ring, take a nearby fight, or just rotate away for more loot. The airbase drop can be tricky as it has some pretty open space around it, and if you aren't careful about your pathing, you could end up getting held as you try to rotate to other locations. But my favorite way to play this is to loot quickly and then either head north to runoff or to the northeast through bunker. Heading southeast is a common rotation because you will hear teams fighting a lot at salvage and market. But that route is a wide open field, and there are a ton of angles for you to get pushed if you take this route. On the other side, if you can manage to get swamps to yourselves, it has some fantastic loot. However, with this drop, it's not uncommon to have another squad drop with you. Make sure you're tracking enemy drops on the way down and take half of the swamp that they don't drop to. You could often get some quick looting in and then either rotate north or south away from the team that dropped with you, or if you found some decent loot, quickly push them away and take swamps for yourself. Hot dropping is never a good idea for your RP gains, but if you're confident that you can win an early fight, oftentimes it's worth fighting for your map control when you have a drop like this. You've heard it before on this channel, your rotations are the #1 aspect of you gaining more RP and ranking up fast. And this is not any more true than here on Kings Canyon. This map seriously punishes you for late rotating with the ring. And if you get caught with a zone at your back and a team holding you in one of the many choke points, then my friend, I wish you good luck. I'm not going to talk about it too much here, just know you need to be putting an emphasis on your rotations right from the start of the game. Notice that when we were just talking about drop locations, we also talked about where you should be headed after finishing at these locations. This process should be happening in your head every game, with you constantly updating that decision with the info you gather in-game. If you put some time into this map, you've no doubt gotten stuck in bunker or between one of the mountain ranges with the zone at your back and an enemy team in front of you. Between these situations and just getting caught out when trying to cross fields in desperation, it's easy to just lose games off positioning alone on Kings Canyon. This map is unforgiving, so if you underestimate the power of rotations, my friend, you will pay the price. Alright guys, on Kings Canyon, you're probably noticing there's a lot of third party. This is for good reason. Since the POIs are a lot closer together on this map and only separated by thin mountain lines, you can hear fights a lot further than other maps. On top of that, the POIs are closer together and there's more of them to make up for it. In higher elo like Diamond, the winning team isn't always the best team, but it's the team that can rotate the best and get the most optimal third-party timing. Now, if you're wondering what a third party is, let's break it down real quick. A third party is when you push 2 teams who are already fighting. Wow, sounds simple, Valued. Wrong. Third partying can be a bait in itself if you just blindly run into a fight. The best way to approach third parties is to wait for one of the teams to get a knock, listen for key audio cues like shotguns, and then push because now you have a catalyst and the teams will be too busy to shoot at you. We'll make another video covering third parties. I just wanted to make sure we covered it here because guys, it is important. Okay, so everything we've talked about so far is key to making it late into your Kings Canyon matches. But what about when you get there? The ring on this map will generally pull to one of the 4 quadrants of the map, with it being a bit more predictable here than let's say World's Edge. With less major POIs and less random loot scattered around the outside of these locations, the zone will favor the locations on the perimeter of the map, with it rarely ending in the center. When you get to the 2nd or 3rd ring, you should have a good idea on where the zone is heading, and take control of the dead side. We've talked about this in previous videos, but basically just make sure you're on the skinny side of the zone, preferably with a strong position within one of the POIs you believe the zone will end in. Every position you get past that top 10 is big RP for your squad, so play the map smart. If you're proactive and let the fights come to you, Kings Canyon will reward you as much as any map in the game. However, if you get caught up looting or fighting and you're one of the last squads making it into the final rings, this can be one of the hardest maps in the game to retake control on. Alright guys, these are some very important tips, so hopefully you take these into your games and start finding success. My personal favorite tip to give is all about third partying. But how are your matches going on Kings Canyon so far this season? I want to hear about it in the comment section below. And if you have any helpful advice for your fellow grinders on how you're finding success, leave them there. Anyway guys, it's been valued. Good luck on your ranked grind, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.